Good evening, fifth graders. Tonight we're doing some more fraction multiplication. The only thing that we're going to be adding to our fraction multiplication is something called cross-reduce, okay? As you can tell, I think it's very important. I circled it with multiple things for it to stand out. Cross-reduce is very important, and I want you to watch and see how I cross-reduce. The point of cross-reducing is to make simplifying your fraction, your answer, easy at the end of your problem. Because before we're just multiplying across, right? Let's take a look here. We have 3/7 times 5/9. One thing I've been teaching was this. You're going to take this, and you're going to multiply straight across. 3 times 5 is 15. 7 times 9 is 63. But I know 3 can go into each one of these, so I have to cross-reduce, right? Or, I mean, we have to just reduce. So I have to divide this by 3, I get 5. 63 divided by 3, so I have to go 63 divided by 3. 3 goes into 6 2 times. 6, subtract, bring down to 3. 3 times goes in there 1 time. Gives me 21. So my answer is 5/21. That's how I have been teaching you how to reduce. Let's take a look at this new concept called cross-reduce. You are going to absolutely love it. I want you to look at these two numbers as a pair and these two numbers as a pair. Let's take a look at that blue pair first. 7 and 5. Is there a number that can go into 7 and 5? There isn't. How about 3 and 9? Is there a number that can go into 3 and 9? There is. 3 can go into 3 and 9. Okay? So watch. This is how we do it. If I divide 3 divided by 3, I get 1. If I divide 9 divided by 3, I get 3. I have to divide them both by 3. Now my new problem when I'm multiplying across, I'm going to be going 1 times 5, I'm going to get 5. 7 times 3, I'm going to get 21. Do you see how quick and easy that is? I don't have to do any long division. I don't have to do any thinking, can 3 go into this number, can 3 go into that number? This is how you do it. Here's another problem. Okay? First of all, let's take a look. Can we cross-reduce these things? 7 and 10, I can't make them any smaller. 3 and 10, I can't make them any smaller. So with that being said, kids, I know when I multiply across, I cannot get my answer any smaller. So let's take a look. 3 times 7 is 21. 10 times 10 is 100. I'm right. I cannot reduce that any further down. So that problem is done. Let's take a look at another one. Let's cross-reduce here. 5 and 5. Remember, we're just taking a look right here. The reason why I'm doing the same color, kids, is because your pencil is going to be the same color. 5 and 5, what can they both go into? 5. So if I do 5 divided by 5, I get 1. 5 divided by 5, I get 1. Let's take a look at this 2 and the 12. I can divide them both by 2. 2 divided by 2, I get 1. 12 divided by 2, I get 6. So my answer is 1 times 1, which is 1. 1 times 6, which is 6. 1/6 is my answer. Now, let's do it the old way. Watch this. 2 times 5 is 10. 5 times 12 is 60. If I divide this by 10, this by 10, I get 1/6 as well. This problem was a little easier to reduce because 10 could go into both, okay? But you don't have to do any reducing. If you do the cross-reduce, you don't have to reduce at the end. Here's another one. 7/6 and 2/9. Looking at this problem right away, I want you to eyeball the 7 and the 6. Can they get any smaller? They can't. How about the 9 and the 2? They can't. So that means whatever I multiply across is my answer. I don't have to simplify it at all. 7 times 2 is 14. 9 times 6 is 54. It is 53. I apologize. No, it's 54. So can I reduce these? I can reduce. Let's see how. They both can go into 2. So even if you can't cross-reduce, sometimes you might have to reduce still if they're both even, right, kids? So we have a 7. What's 54 divided by 2? 2 goes in there twice. Bring down the 4. Gives me a 7. 27 is my answer. 7 over 27. 3 sets of 4 coins. How many coins are there in all? Well, if I have 3 sets of 4, I'm going to go 3 times 4. I'm going to get 12. 8 rows of 8 stamps. How many stamps do I have in all? I'm going to go 8 times 8, which is 64. This next problem on here is a good one. I have 3 bags of 12 oranges. Okay? For each of 3 classes, how many oranges are in all? Well, 3 times 12 is 36, right? But I have 3 classes of 36. So I'm going to do 36 times 3. Gives me an 18, 9, 108. That's my answer. All right, kids, hopefully this helped you a little bit tonight. Remember that cross-reduce? And when we got to this problem right before here, right? Even when we cross-reduced in the beginning, we couldn't make it any smaller, but you always want to double check right at the end, even if you couldn't cross-reduce. If you have 2 even numbers, you know that you can divide by 2. Remember that. If they're both odd, it doesn't mean you can't divide, because guess what? 3 can go into odd numbers, right? But keep those things in mind. Hopefully this helped. I look forward to working with some cross-reducing with you in class tomorrow.